Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DePietro and Bob Zagami.
Petro.
I'm here direct from frigid Worcester, Massachusetts.
See, you should have stayed in Florida.
I should have stayed in Florida. But you know what? We want to no Wednesday night is the same. This time last week, Bob, if you remember, we were in Bushnell, Florida at Red Oak Campground with a View and Navion group. They had about 100 RVs down there. And we found out we had very poor internet. And then at about 6:40, we had no guests because the person who was supposed to be my guest was still 100 miles away. So we pulled 3 or 4 guests together and turned out that we had a great show. And tonight we're going to have a great show too. And the only reason we can have a great show is because of our sponsor, which is drumroll,
right there. Ba-boom.
Seacoast RVs, Route 1, proud sponsor of RVing in New England, and continuing their sponsorship for several more months. And you know what? Crop park models, elevation park models, and Winnebago products, towables, as well as the Travato. And you know what? They're just such nice people. Kenny, Amanda, the whole crew up there, the dogs that are in the building, and propane. And they're probably going to have an open house again this spring, right, Bob?
Yeah, the open house is coming up in May. I was talking to Amanda about that, but right now they just finished up with the Mohegan Sun show, so they're continuing the specials as they did with all of their shows this year. And now they're going to put the effort into their open house in May, and we should probably start having videos or commercials on that next week. So yeah, we love to see it and love to see them and what they do for RVing in New England. And as I said before, they signed up, so they're on board for another 6 months, and we sincerely thank them.
And we should tell people that it's worth driving up there for the open house just for the kettle corn that Kenny made. Right. Kenny's kettle corn. Nobody does better kettle corn than Kenny Blow.
Yep.
Kenny, we're promoting it now, so you have to have it.
Absolutely. Yep. And did you catch our new cover photo, bright spring colors, because it is spring break? Did you like how creative I was on the promotion this week?
Yeah, I thought you did. I thought you did an excellent job.
I got creative there for a while.
So yeah, well, it's certainly a creative license because there's nowhere in New England where you see those flowers in bloom like you're making it look like they are.
Not right now. That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Poetic license you took with that.
That's right.
You took with that.
So this is our spring special, if you will, where we bring in our technical advisory team of Ryan Hadley, Randy Murray, and Chris Dougherty. And I'll tell you what, before we bring Ryan and Randy up, they're sitting in the green room. The devouring, we put 12 lobsters in there for them. And somebody just came out and told me that there's only 2 left.
In the green room.
In the green room. Yeah.
Must have been my wife.
Must be a good appetite. So did you have something to say before I?
Well, yeah, you know what? Before we do that, before we go to that, our panel of experts, let's just look back because we're looking ahead. But let's just look back last week. We just got back from 5 weeks in Florida, and a great 5 weeks. And you say, well, how did you get back so quick from being in Florida on Monday? Well, here's what we did. We don't want to drive back to New England and then drive back down to Florida or Louisiana or any of that stuff in the summertime. So what we thought we would do and are doing is we left the RV down there, and then for April vacation, we're going to fly down with a couple of grandkids and then gradually make our way back because everyone knows you don't want to be in Texas or Louisiana or Florida in June, July, or August unless you are going for a cruise or something that there's no other reason to go for. So what we did was we found RV storage and we found it in Auburndale. I wish I had a photo, but I don't. It is covered storage because, as you know, Bob, the sun.
Right.
There are more carports in Florida, I think, than anywhere else because the sun does more damage to your RV than the winter. So it's covered.
There's a lot of storage that have that outdoor covering rather than an indoor building. Yeah.
And it's covered and it has power. By the way, yeah, we are live, right?
We are.
Okay, good. Want to make sure you hit the button. Oh, yeah, we got an audience. Okay.
Good audience, yeah.
Didn't want to get 7 minutes into the show and realize we hadn't pushed the power button,
right.
the on button. So we found the place that's right next to Margaritaville. The beauty of it is that if you want to leave your RV in the Orlando area, you're going to pay Disney prices. If you go to areas outside that, like we did, anybody wants to know, I'll get you the name of the place. But it's brand new, it's covered, and it has electricity. So you don't have to empty out the fridge or whatever. So that's what we're going to do. And the other crazy thing is, as we came back flying right into Worcester on JetBlue yesterday, the first two people that we ran into at the Worcester airport that were ready to head to Orlando were Ryan Hadley's parents. And they left their RV there earlier. So a lot of people think that, oh, no. If I go to Florida, I got to drive the RV back. Don't kill yourself in those 3 days to come back early. Leave it there and, fly back. And if you're not in peak season, we've got a flight back $89 each per person from New England to
Worcester.
Orlando.
You're going out of Bradley, aren't you?
Yeah, out of Bradley. Yeah.
Out of Bradley. Yeah. So let me ask you, did Ryan's parents ask for your autograph when they ran into you?
They did. They did. And
did you have any 8 glossy photos left?
I have 7 black and white glossy photos, but they're my high school photo, so I've got to get it updated because it's only been 54 years.
Wonderful. Let me just check it. We don't want to leave our gang behind before we go up to Mr. Dougherty. Walter was front and center tonight. Appreciate it, Walter. And Don wasn't too far behind him. And
because he showed up at 7:54 last week.
Right, exactly. So he just stayed online. He stayed online all week just so he could be here. Right. And Uncle Tim is here from Irving, beautiful downtown Irving. Audrey is up. Charlie Butler is here. Bernie is here from downtown Nashua, New Hampshire. Tim's here for a few minutes.
Here for a few minutes.
Oh.
He probably just wants to rag on Ryan.
James Conboy, you better stay tuned, James. We managed to fit you into Chris Dougherty's video. And Tim, intro wording called you Bob Zigami. I'm not sure. Maybe that was the way he heard it. I don't know. Not sure I understand that one, Tim, but that's all right. Estelle, no side conversations, Estelle. Pay attention to the program.
Oh, there goes Jim. Hi, Estelle.
Yeah, there you go. Can't control them. Looks good, Bob. Bernie looks good. You mean my background, or you look, or how well I look for 80 years old, Bernie? You mean me, or you mean the background? Steve Hogan says hello from winter cold Rhode Island. Now, don't worry, guys. Spring is here. Walter, renting an RV for the last week of June and first week of July from Sherry, using one of our NERVDA members. That's great. Full is for a trip back to Florida with the grandkids. That's fantastic. Great idea. Oh, look at there. East Montpelier, Vermont. Olivia Grace Mickelson. Thank you for joining. How was your open house up there? I think it was last week. They did open house in there, and I haven't forgotten you, Olivia. I still want to do the program on. She's
the third or fourth generation, right, Bob?
She is third generation.
Third, okay. Hi, Olivia.
Bruce is her father, and Connie is her aunt. And she will tell me if I'm wrong. She's doing some great things up there. She runs the rental fleet and does a lot of the marketing stuff. So glad to have you on board here, Olivia.
Well, I might be going up for the Vermont Maple Festival in April, so maybe we can catch her at the same time.
Bernie, both. Tim was referring to the transcription below. I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows?
I'll figure it out before the show is over. So
We have a great show lined up tonight.
we do. So Mr. Dougherty is on his way back from Elkhart, Indiana. And before I do that, let me give a little peek into what he's doing. No, let me do this. I'm going to do his video first, and then I'm going to show you the graphics when he talks about the PRVCA trailer. So sit back, relax, get some popcorn. Ladies and gentlemen, the RV PhD. Wrong, wrong one. Where the hell did it go? We showed that one last week. That was my party. Hi, Chris. I know you couldn't join us live tonight. You're a busy man. Everybody else is busy, but I didn't want to give Ryan and Randy all the airtime today and all the headlines. So you're going to talk to us from the road. I know you're coming back from Indiana. So I picked the topic of spring break just to get people's attention. But spring service is so important. And it's so important for consumers to understand their responsibilities going into the camping season, especially if they want to have fun doing it and not spend the entire year at the repair shop or broken down on the side of the road. Give us your views about that and some tips that you might have for them.
Well, absolutely. So, folks are getting their units out of storage from the winter season in a lot of North America. As we get into April here, a lot of the northern campgrounds will be opening up. Of course, we've got a big snowstorm coming in here to the Midwest in the next few days.
So you're just trying to stay ahead of it.
We're trying to stay ahead of it. We've got this trailer that we're picking up here, and we're going to be heading back with it. But it's really important for folks, in my opinion, to spend some time with their RV in the spring to make sure that you handle some of the maintenance items that need to be done on it. In the fall and in the spring are good times to hit some of the bigger projects because it's, the weather's a little more favorable. Sometimes it's not as hot, certainly not cold out. And you can go through and do some things that are really going to make your travels a lot happier. I'm sure the guys are going to talk about, dewinterizing and that type of thing. There's a lot of those type of technical things that are important. We also want to make sure that the running gear is in good shape. And that's a safety and as well as a major inconvenience thing, right? If we break down the side of the road or you have tire problems or things like that, we don't want to deal with any of that stuff. So keeping all that up, to date is absolutely important. One of the things I like to absolutely emphasize is a clean machine is a happy machine. And so for RVers, it's good to spend time in the spring, cleaning the RV, making sure everything is in tip-top shape inside and out. A lot of folks have issues with mice during the wintertime getting into the RV. So we want to make sure that, we're looking for that and we can, clean that up. And we want to make sure we don't have any damage from the wintertime or anything else that may have happened to the RV while it was in storage. And, one of the things too is that it's very important for the RVs and for the fiberglass especially, but the painted surfaces and things like that to be cleaned and waxed and protected. And so that's something that you can do over the course of, several days or weekends or whatever during this, at the beginning and end of the season. And that's really going to help prevent some of the fading of the paints, the vinyl graphics.
That's interesting because in the back of my mind, I'm saying, well, what haven't Randy and Ryan talked about and what would be different to talk about? And my next question was going to be, what about the exterior and what about these new ceramic waxes or what is your, you've been an independent tech, you've had your own mobile firm, you've worked with dealerships. What are your recommendations? Let's focus right on that and talk about what do you recommend to protect the outside? Because a lot of people go inside and they forget there's important things that RVers should be doing.
Absolutely. So on the outside, of course, we start with the roof. Very, very important that the roof is maintained. The seals are maintained. I'm sure the guys are going to mention that. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on roof maintenance. On the sides of the RV, you're basically looking at either a fiberglass, which is usually laminated, it can be hung fiberglass, or aluminum siding. The other thing that could be is a full paint. So you could buy, if you have a higher end RV that has a full paint job on it with clear coat, then you're dealing with more of an automotive finish than you are just the fiberglass siding. So what happens with most of these RVs is that as the fiberglass is exposed to ultraviolet light, it oxidizes. Okay, so it's basically plastic. It's FRP, fiberglass reinforced plastic. And so the top layer, gel coat, as it were, I mean, on these sidewalls, a very thin veneer of FRP that is glued onto a backer, and then they, build the whole wall out from that. Okay, if that is allowed to sit out in the sun, that will over time start to fade and get chalky, and people will notice a loss of the glossy surface. They won't see that as much anymore. The other thing that it does is the vinyl graphics. So if you don't have a full paint RV, you've got vinyl graphics that stick onto the side of the RV in various patterns. And when you have that, those also will degrade in time from the elements, UV and being out in the weather. And that can be expensive and difficult to repair or replace. So it's important to try to keep some protection on there. Okay, so as far as protective products are concerned, at a minimum, a very good automotive wax. And keep up with it right from when you first get the RV. If you can start it while the RV is new, the better it's going to be. You mentioned before.
How often, Chris?
Go ahead.
How often?
I at a bare minimum once a year. I like to recommend twice a year, but if you have a really big RV, that can be tough. When the RV's out in the elements, the wax doesn't last forever. Okay, something that will work, and I've been talking to people about it, is using a ceramic coating. Okay, ceramic product. These are relatively new to automotive and to the RV space. And the idea behind it is a tougher coating that goes onto the vehicle's paint and protects it for several years. Okay, and then you could replace it again after you do that. I have not done it on an RV. It's very, very expensive. So it's, you'd be spending a great deal of money to put that on an RV, and probably an older RV, it's not worth it, right? Because one of the things they do as part of this process is what's called a paint correction. So they'll go through and spend time on a car or truck, improving the paint, getting swirls out of it, getting any defects out of it before putting this on. Because once you put it on, it's hard, if not impossible, to get off quickly. And so the newer vehicle is the better. If you have a full paint RV that has clear coat on it, so it's painted and clear coated, then yeah, they can absolutely do those paint corrections and put that on there. But this is something that I'm looking into a little bit more, and we'll see what happens. There's a few vendors I've been talking to about it, and we'll see where it goes. Fantastic.
All right, we'll save some of the other tips. I had to hit the. I didn't have to. I accidentally hit the stop button as we were recording, but I think we got the gist of what the PhD had to say. Any comments on that? And then while I bring the other two parts of our NERVDA Technical Advisory Group, any comment, John, before we?
No, I want to. You know what? I want Randy and Ryan both to talk about that gel coat, getting re-gel coated, because when I was in Florida, there are several companies that go around the campgrounds and say we'll make your RV look like new. But I found that the price difference that some of them are charging is the difference in price is amazing. And there's also
throw some prices out there, guidelines for people to think about.
Well, there was a 42-footer next to us that was being cleaned and detailed for $410 a foot. No, our RV is 24 feet long, and the guy quoted me $1,300. So there's a $900 difference for that. And if Ryan or Randy can talk about where you go to get gel coated, what kind of company does that? Because we're in a situation where I'm in the sun all year long, and there's no shade. It's out in the sun. And I'm under the opinion now through experience that the sun does more damage to your RVs than the winter does. So you want to talk about that. But first, we have a presentation to Ryan.
Oh, we do.
Oh boy. I didn't forget. No, it's all good, Ryan. I didn't
have to blow you up.
Oh, wow.
I got your shirt. Can you see that? I don't know why it doesn't.
No, it's playing games with your background. You got to kind of center it, but it is a Ryan Priest T-shirt directly from Daytona International Speedway. Of course, you could buy it at any speedway, but John decided to buy it there since I asked him to look for it when we were down for the race.
Well, thank you very much.
So that's yours coming up, Ryan. I also got you another one from Chevrolet. I hope you're a Chevy guy.
Yep.
All right.
So.
Well, thank you.
I'm a Chevy guy. Did you get me one?
I think you got one on your own.
Hey, all right. Here's a trivia question for you, and this will go to our audience also. What can I give away? I don't know. I'll think of something to give away.
John.
There is a press conference. Wait a minute. This is the question now. There is a press conference at 9:00 tomorrow morning. It is related to NASCAR. Who knows what it is? Oh, see how dedicated you guys are. I'll bet Walter will pop up and he'll
Walter will research it before we get a chance.
Before he pops it up there.
Yeah.
Anybody know?
Tires?
Nope.
Oh,
based on what happened at Bristol?
The
electric?
It is
electric.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is holding a press conference, and I don't have the official word, but my guess, and it was kind of confirmed by somebody in NASCAR, is that he will be making the announcement that he is switching to Honda in 2026. And we have not had Honda in NASCAR. I don't think we've ever had it in NASCAR. Obviously, they're in F1 and Formula One and motorsports. So that is a major, if that's what it is, a major announcement. And funny story, I'm on with John today, and we're taping intros for the Camper Report show. And all of a sudden, my computer starts making these stupid noises. And I'm looking around, I can't find it. I look at my phone, I look at the computer, I check I can't find it. We had to stop the filming. What?
Look at Walter.
Well, Honda is the new player. You are right.
Thanks, Walter.
You are right. And I'm quite sure
I thought that was a rumor.
No. Anyways, what happened was earlier in the day, I had the video up from the announcement, and it's a very short video. It's only like 7 seconds, and all it shows is his feet and his pant leg, and says, tune in like 9:00 tomorrow morning. And they had this awful sound. I don't know what the hell you'd call it. Just a little band thing. Well, it had started playing on its own, and it was so obnoxious, we had to stop the filming for our other show until I could troubleshoot it. Anyhow, but yeah, you're right, Walt. Everyone else has seen that. And the young lady,
Randy hasn't had a chance to get a word in yet.
The young lady in Vermont has responded. Open house went great. Would love to set up a time soon to chat, as now Jenna is full-time. That's her sister, and third generation in full swing. So we're going to be doing a show totally dedicated to Mickelsons and the great family history. And that'll be, let's get that done in the next 30 days or so. So anyways, Ryan, I know we cut you off, stepped on your tongue, whatever.
Randy hasn't had a chance to answer a question yet. Will you ask Randy something so he doesn't just turn off the lights and leave?
I'm not going to ask you many. Randy's a big boy. He can stand on his own 2 feet. Randy, the stage is yours.
Well, thank you, Bob. First, I'd like to say happy birthday.
Wait. What are you saying thank you, Bob, for? I'm the one who cleared it for you to get
Thank
to
you,
speak.
John.
Okay.
So first, I would like to say happy birthday to Bob Zagami. You just turned 80, didn't you, Bob?
I did.
90.
Happy birthday, my friend.
90.
So that's a big deal.
I'm heading for 90. Yeah, I can't see what my wife has in order for me at 90.
Right?
Wait.
The sidewall stuff. So Chris was 100% right. There's many different products out there that you can put on the sidewall of your camper to keep it looking good. The sun is going to open up the pores. It's going to deteriorate or dry out the pores on the side of the camper, and it can happen to an aluminum sided camper. The corrugated metal, the enamel will dry out a little bit. Fiberglass, as he mentioned, has a thin layer of gel coat over the fiberglass. That'll get porous. Even clear coat on a full body paint coach can get a little bit of porous in it. And when it does, that's when the black streaks are hard to get off, and some of the stuff coming down from the roof or just what's in the air. Vermont wood burning stoves, a lot of that collects on the roof. So when it rains and snows and what have you, that ends up on the sidewall. So I agree 100%. If we can wax or have the dealer ship when you purchase, apply a Teflon or a silicone that will clog up those pores and last some time to keep things looking nice, make it easy for the bugs to be washed off, and add value to your coach. A coach that looks better is going to be more valuable than one that does not, for sure, on any dealer lot or on anyone's front lawn. So I agree with Chris. If you can swing it, or if you've got kids or nephews or nieces running around that need a little bit of extra gas money in their tank or what have you, waxing an RV is there's a lot of real estate on an RV, and you probably don't realize it until you go ahead and wax it. But definitely a good thing to do in the spring to keep it looking good and again add that value and protect yourself from the sidewalls drying out or getting porous and looking dull.
Is that a service that you offer in the dealership, or is it just take too long and too much time?
We do a couple different ones. So John mentioned when he was in Florida that there was a $1,300 discrepancy between him and his neighbor on what they were quoted. A detail is different than applying like a ceramic or a wax or something like that. So we do offer it out of the business office, and we do have special equipment to apply. There's an insurance policy that comes along with it as well. And if you want your coach waxed, we have a foot price on that as well. So it all depends on what you got, what kind of coach you have, and what state the coach is in too. I mean, if it's really gone by, we might recommend something different than if it's brand new to protect, right?
Well, like burning it.
Burning it sometimes that is recommended.
Leaving it on the side of the road. What's your take on that, Ryan?
Taking the plate.
Well, I see a lot. I don't get involved with waxing or cleaning the sides of the RVs or anything, but I see a lot, especially in campgrounds where people's trailers are positioned like seasonal position trailers. I see a lot of one side will look brand new and the other side is faded. And if you even like rest your hand on it, you get the chalkiness from the paint on your hand, and it kills. And it can also delaminate the sides of it with the glue underneath, especially the fiberglass sided ones. The sun beating on it can actually affect the glue where the panel is attached to the sidewall.
Interesting. Let's take a commercial break real quick, and I want to get back to the discussion. Let me do this here. I had it up. Yeah. John, just give you a quick radio voice and we'll do a short one here.
Okay, fake voice. Okay, everybody, this is my fake radio voice, and we want to let you know that this show is brought to you by Seacoast RV's Route 1 in Saco, Maine, and they have elevation products, they have crop products, and they have Winnebago products, and they are winners again in the best of the 207. Now, for those of you that are not as versed with geography as I am, 207 is the area code for the great state of Maine. So
the only area code for the great state of Maine.
For the great state of Maine, because there are more bear and deer in Maine than humans, but that's beside the point. But anyway, they're a great company to work with. Now back to our. And now back. Wait. Wait, let me.
What?
And now back to our show.
There we go.
There's your cue.
How's that? Work out well? All right, Ryan. I'm gonna throw it
You're
back.
missing your cue, Zagami.
What?
Wait.
Uh-huh.
Wait. What do you have next to you? I have water. What do you have next to you?
Not water.
Daniels.
And you probably cannot read the glass. Let me read it to you. This is one of my gifts. It says, "Age to Perfection, 1944, the Jackmaster."
The Jackmaster.
That was a gift of 2 of those glasses and a big decanter for my gentleman Jack. That was one of my many gifts, which I appreciate. Okay, so now I'm back to the show. Randy and Ryan, did you like my clever spring break intro?
I did.
I was really creative this morning.
I wish the grass and flowers looked like that around here now. I'm kind of.
I already said that before.
John said the same thing when we were.
He used creative license when he did that.
Right,
Last
when
week
were
was
walking
a
out the
deed.
bullpen. Hey, I paid money for that out of iStock Photo. I don't compromise somebody else's copyright. I own that photo. Or NERVDA owns that photo.
Yeah. Let's go back here. Let's go back to. We got some
Let's
great
go back
comments
to
here.
Ryan, pick a topic. Say something.
How to get your trailer ready in spring. The
What?
biggest.
That's
The
not Ryan.
biggest. The things to do. The things to do to get your trailer ready in spring are the biggest thing is check your roof seals. You should be doing that twice a year. And not only the roof seals, a lot of people forget about all their molding seals and their window seals and all their side seals because the sun can also affect your seals around your windows greatly. So it's a good idea to have, check those or have somebody check them, like myself or somebody at a dealership or another mobile service, to check all of your seals. And your wheel bearings, you want to pack your wheel bearings depending on how much you used your trailer last year. It's always a good idea to at least have them checked. And if you put a lot of miles on them, repack your wheel bearings. Take a look at your tires. Tires are a big thing. I just did wheel bearings through a trailer last week, and I noticed that the gentleman's tires were starting to dry rot, and we caught it in time before a dry rotted tire could create lots of damage on the trailer. So there's a lot of things to go over. Cleaning your appliances, running all your appliances, cleaning your water system, stuff like that you want to stay on top of, and you want to do that before you get to your campground. You don't want to show up at your campground and not have a camper that's ready and start turning things on and then find out that your water heater doesn't turn on or your refrigerator's not working. It's a good idea to set your camper up in the driveway and run it, a mock run in your driveway.
Ryan,
Hey.
talk about tires, the life of the tires, because people
That was what I was going to say. And specifically, Ryan, we're probably dealing with people that, may have bought in the past 3-4 years. You don't put a lot of miles on trailer tires. And
No.
people say, well, look at the treads. They're brand new. Why should I get new tires?
Well, it doesn't really matter what the treads look like because inside the treads you can get dry rot. So you get dry rot from the sun a lot around the sidewall of the tire. But a lot of people don't understand that the dry rot also starts in between the treads. So when you look at your tires, you actually need to crawl on your knees and put your head in and look at the in between the treads because that's where the cracking will start and that's where the damage will happen.
Yep. And Randy, I'm sure you'd agree that if you get a tire blowout on a travel trailer going 60, 65 miles an hour, and by the way, I saw so many people passing us going fifth wheels and I'm doing 65, they're doing 70, 75. Is that recommended, that speed?
So typically tires have a speed rating. And I would probably tell you to obey by that speed rating. I'm not going to tell you that my truck never exceeds 65 miles an hour with a trailer behind it because it may.
It may.
While I'm driving it. I'm very familiar with what I've got, but better tires have better speed ratings. Back to what Ryan was saying, the sun is a big killer of tires, and tires have waxes, oils, and polymers. Rubber has waxes, oils, and polymers in it that keep it pliable. And in our passenger vehicles, we're redistributing those waxes, oils, and polymers every day. We're bringing the tires to temperature. We're driving it around. We're moving it. It's not sitting in the same places all the time where our trailers often are. Even parking on a moist or a wet soil on the lawn for long periods of time can pull the waxes, oils, and polymers out of the tread area of your tires, which is really hard to identify if you've got cracking or issues going on. So keeping your tires covered and off the ground, like on a hard pan or an asphalt surface, is definitely more beneficial. Keeping them covered, keeping a proper air pressure, taking care of your tires is super important, because again, our tires, we're not doing a good job with our tires on an RV because we're not moving it around a lot, and that's what keeps our tires healthy on our automotives, because we're driving them daily. So we need to be cognizant of that and take a look at it. The state of Vermont actually has a state inspection on travel trailer, any vehicle that goes down the road that weighs over 1,500 pounds. And what the state inspection does in Vermont, and I bring this, I talk about it in seminars, and I bring it to our Massachusetts, all of our stores, our Connecticut stores. I really think it's a good idea. What we're checking for is we're checking the brakes, we're checking the breakaway system, we're checking wheel bearings, we're looking at the tire, looking at the running gear, we're looking at everything that makes it go down the road safely. And the state requires us to do so once a year. And then we put a sticker on it stating it's good for the year and it's been inspected. I recommend everybody do this. Even if you're in a state that doesn't require it, it saves having problems after. Be proactive rather than reactive, and you won't be caught on the side of the road at 9 o'clock at night in the rain with no cell service trying to get home after your camping experience. So if you're not the guy, bring it somewhere and have it done, or get a guy like Ryan to come out and look at your stuff for you, and just do some proactive maintenance, and trouble will not find you, hopefully.
Yep. And in addition to the flat tire, you can also do some serious undercarriage damage with those tires whipping around and pulling off.
If you get the right tread separation, I've seen tires actually blow through floors. I've seen them go through slide floors. I've seen black tanks taken out. I've seen brakes lost too, because it takes wiring out, which activates and controls the braking system of the camper. And if that gets hit or dislodged or damaged, you can have no brakes, which is very dangerous as well. So 100% blowouts are not fun and usually are costly if you have one. So let's try to avoid those.
I have a customer. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
All right, I'll come back to you, Ryan. But fit into the schedule here, the importance, much like getting campgrounds early, but the importance, they should already have their. I think you'll agree. They should already have their appointment to have their unit checked, and if they don't, then they should. So Ryan, go pick up your point and then finish up with that, and we'll throw it over to Randy.
Well, I was going to say about the tire blowout. I actually have a customer. We have to put a refrigerator in a couple of weeks. They have a diesel motorhome, and they got a blowout that was so bad that vibrated the trailer. I mean, it's an older motorhome, but it vibrated the camper so bad that it actually broke the cooling unit in the refrigerator and the cooling unit. And that was the first time I've ever seen it. And I was like, wow. And the guy was like, I had nowhere to pull over, and I had to drive until I had found a safe spot. And it was at the body shop because it did so much damage.
Wow. And expensive damage.
Yeah. Yep. His insurance company's covering a lot of it, but it's still, a tire blowout could do a lot of damage.
We have some comments here, Bob. Audrey said, I hear a lot of complaints about the diamond shield and how hard it is to remove. While we don't have problems with it yet, any advice about it?
Well, I've seen that diamond shield get really, really gritty after a certain amount of years. So again, keeping it clean and not allowing it to get to that point is the biggest thing.
Yeah. Walter says diamond shield from 3M is a pain to remove once it starts to fade. Then Audrey asks, is T9 waterproof lubrication effective for the slide seals?
I've never heard of that. I use I believe I have it over there in my toolbox, but I use it's a 3-in-1 kit, and I talk about it at the show. I forget who makes it, but they do one. It's a rubber conditioner, and it's a sealer too.
So Ashley or Audrey, you're gonna want to read the bottle on that. What we're looking for and what a typical slide seal is gonna do is it's gonna condition the rubber, just like Ryan said. That rubber is out in the sun, being exposed, being dried. The waxes, oils, and polymers, as mentioned, just like your tires are being drawn out of that. So what we want to do is replenish what gets dried out. So I'm not familiar with the T9 waterproofing product, but read the thing and see what the effects are on rubber and if it has positive effects. And then if it does, go ahead and use it. Sounds good.
Ryan, if you want to go ahead and check that, get up and grab the bottle. That's fine.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
Vicky,
Because if you don't grab the bottle, Zagami has already grabbed the bottle and turned it over
Yeah.
several times.
Vicky,
into
I'm
his
not
cup.
sure. Bob at Bristol. They were at Bristol this weekend, so I'm not sure unless she's saying that the
The tires.
tires.
Well, it must be the tires because there was a lot of Ryan. There were a lot of tire issues at Bristol.
Yeah.
The tires were terrible. Yeah, this weekend, right? The
Yeah.
Goodyear.
Well,
they were going crazy. They had to give them a couple of extra sets they were wearing, so because they had gone back.
They have.
Time in 3 years.
They have the dirt down the last few years in the April race at Bristol.
Yeah, the spring race has always been dirt for the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, I don't think they're going to do that anymore. It costs them so much money. But this was the first time in 3 years that they had gone back to concrete. And I don't know if they laid new concrete or whatever, but man, some of those tires just literally ate right through the middle of the tire.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ryan,
Okay.
what you got?
So this is the product that I use.
You better read it.
It RV Care. It's a 3-in-1, so you get 3-in-1. So you have your slide seal conditioners. This is for your slide out tracks, and then this one is for your window and track dry lube. So that like when you open your windows, the sliding windows and stuff. I don't know if you guys can read that. See?
Yeah, we can't read it, but we can see it. Yeah.
So there's a couple of controversies here about nitrogen-filled tires. Walter
Nitrogen says that. Walter says nitrogen is snake oil for an RV. Let's stop there and let each of our outstanding technical advisors comment on that because that comes up frequently. Randy, take the shot first.
So typically a nitrogen generator is very expensive. I've looked into purchasing them to be able to fill tires. Harley Davidson and Costco are typically two places that have nitrogen generators. They're tens of thousands of dollars to purchase one. Nitrogen is heavier than air, so it's more dense. It leaks out less. Like so, for a tire that sits around for a long period of time through hot and cold, a nitrogen-filled tire, the mindset or the thought process behind it is it's not going to be low on air pressure in the spring or after it's sat around for a while, just because it's dense. You can fill air on top of it. I don't think a nitrogen-filled tire is a bad thing, but I wouldn't go out of my way to find more nitrogen to add to my tires. If I needed to, I'd put air on top of it. That's me personally. They're typically notated with the green cap. So if you're on a dealer lot or looking at something or looking at your own unit, if you've got a green valve stem cap, you do have nitrogen, but you can put air on top of that. Or if you get your work done at a Harley Davidson dealership or at Costco, you can add nitrogen on top of what's there. But it's to keep them from low air pressure.
Yep. I always add air. If there's a nitrogen-filled tire, I add air because it's not like I'm driving around with a nitrogen generator in the back of my truck. And I personally, I don't see any benefits to it other than the fact that the air pressure goes down slower or leaks out slower.
Interesting. Walter had a comment on the T9. He went out and did a little bit of his homework. You guys agree with that?
I would have to look, but it looks like Walter definitely has done a little bit of homework there, and I know he's a smart cat, so I would probably have to say that, Audrey, I wouldn't use that for my slide seal conditioner. It looks more like something I would want to put on the mechanical ends of things down below the camper.
You never want to use an oil-based lubricant on your slide seals or your slide mechanisms, anything like that, because what the oil does is it attracts dust, and over time, that dust can build up. It can actually cause problems.
Yep.
Wow. Hey, guys, one of the first points that Ryan brought up was now's a good time to check your roof out. I don't know if Jim Conboy is still with us here watching us, if Jim has any specific points about roof care to bring up at this time of the year. Jim, now is your chance to
well, I can I can speak for Jim. I assume he's probably still out there. But one of the things that New England RV Roof, which is a great NERVDA member, also offers is a free inspection. If you will take your vehicle, he's not going to come out and check your house. But if you want to drive to Plainville, Massachusetts, with your motorhome or trailer, they will take the time, go out, and give you an estimate and let you know what the whole process is about.
Yeah, Jim says he can't type fast enough.
He can't type as fast as you and I can talk to Petro.
Yeah. But I caught the 3 in for Windows. What was the last one for the slide?
So you have this is for your window track. This one is for your slide mechanisms, like your slide out tracks that come in and out.
What's the brand on that, Ryan?
It's RV Care.
RV Care.
Yeah.
RV Care 3-in-1 slide out silicone lube.
Where would a consumer buy that product?
Ryan? So, Amazon, they have everything. And
everything, right?
I believe Walmart carries it, and when you go into an RV store, they should stock that stuff too.
Yeah. Estelle said that Jim was very busy at the camping show this past weekend. Up in Maine, was it New Hampshire this weekend?
Mohegan Sun. Actually, there was New Hampshire. They had the Milford show under the dome. That was the New Hampshire Camping and RV show. And the Mohegan Sun, which was Joe's show down in Florida, not Florida, in Mohegan Sun, at the casino. And I think we're done. Randy, are we done with the shows? You got anything on the calendar?
I'm heading into the Sportsplex in Manchester, New Hampshire this weekend. And then we've got Auburn, Maine after that. And then I believe New England is done other than lot shows.
That's right. There's 2 shows in New Hampshire, which I don't agree with. I don't think it makes any sense, but I'm not spending the money, so they can do what they want. And there will be a show up in Maine for the Maine Campground Owners Association. And is right, Milford. And Jim,
is Vicky a new viewer?
Jim Conboy, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, has done. He is the most loyal supporter of NERVDA and every other. So not just NERVDA. He is a member of all the campground associations. He is a member of all the dealer associations, and he is at every show. Certainly in New England, but he's also branching out to New York and Pennsylvania, I think. And that's a vendor who cares about his customers. Not that the others don't, but that is his number one focus on his marketing plans. It's kind of like you guys, Randy. You don't miss a show. If there's a show, Pete's RV is. I'm not sure that agrees with you all the time, but Randy has to set that up and get those units going and get them down, get them back, and what have you. But certainly a yeoman's job.
Now, one other thing.
4 shows in one weekend this year. So that's been challenging.
4 in one weekend?
Yeah.
Wow.
Does Chad make it to all of them?
Chad, so myself, I'm at a show every weekend, and Chad is as well.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys are doing 20 shows. Does that sound right?
We've done more than that already.
More than 20 shows. So you don't know where you go into those shows. You have no idea where you are. They all look alike, right? You got to.
I know at the end of March it's over. That's what I know. I'm in a different city, a different zip code, doing the same thing. It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, but look at the great shape you're in, Randy. Running that stuff back and forth, lifting, pulling, putting in place, pull the forklift. Man, you're probably got the best physical condition of any tech out there.
Yeah, but a lot of people are not aware. I was looking for the photo. I couldn't find it. I have a picture of Randy in a shirt and tie.
You do?
I think that was in Pennsylvania at Hershey.
Who died?
So, as a director at Pete's RV, I am required to wear a tie on certain occasions. Now, I can get away with not wearing them too because of this. You can't really see the beard with a tie. But once in a while, I'll bust one out if it's hot out. I'll have to wear one because I can't cover it up with a quarter zip. But
I think I got a rare photo of him with a tie at Hershey, and I think we posted it that night.
Hey,
But,
Ryan.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
in a ZZ Top video, exactly.
I'm curious,
Um,
Ryan, how are your appointments going this year? Are you kind of ahead of the number that you had last year? Are consumers figuring out that they will do this stuff early?
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm actually backed up a lot from the end of last year with all the amount of rain we had. So I have a list of people that I didn't get to last year in the fall and during the winter that needed, roof work, stuff that you couldn't do in the cold weather throughout the winter. So it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing that I'm backed up a little bit now, and we're booked out a little further than anticipated this time. But I've left some time in the schedule and stuff for all my customers who call me to dewinterize their campers that may have not have called me. And I usually tell people to call about beginning to mid-March when you really need to call me and say, hey, this is when I kind of want to do it, or this is when this is when we're going away. Can you do it before then?
Well, I know you're very busy, and I want to commend you because I always reference you in terms of people that understand the correct work-life balance. I think we all like to work. I think we all like to keep our customers happy, but your family is your number one priority. You're often posting the activities with the kids. And Amy, God bless her, she keeps you on track. But
I would like to say one thing. I appreciate you saying that. I made it through a whole weekend last weekend with no Amy and all 4 kids by myself.
Man, did she hit the lottery, or was it her birthday? Or
No,
that's great.
She went away. Her boss, her 2 bosses. She's a director.
Ran off with her boss.
Yep, she ran off with her boss.
Do we want to go down that road?
Yeah. No, her bosses took her and the other directors where she works away for the weekend. It's like a Christmas bonus type of thing. So she went off and enjoyed herself, and
Great.
I was stuck here with the madness.
So how did the house look on Sunday?
You know what? It looked good. I did dishes. I did laundry. I cooked. I smoked a pork shoulder so that when she got home, everything was ready. I made homemade mac and cheese, and then she came home and she was sick. She got the stomach bug.
I thought you were going to say I smoked the joint.
You haven't posted anything on your race car yet. Give us an update.
The race car is coming along good. I'm waiting. The transmission, I just got the call the other day that the transmission's ready. It's all freshened up. Waiting to get the engine back, and then we can button everything up. And it's close, but it's not close. So it's
Where are you going to be racing it? Stafford or Thompson?
Are you going to race?
drag racing. So
drag race.
Yeah, New England Dragway, Lebanon Valley in New York, and then Oxford Plains up in Maine.
So what is it like 6 or 7 seconds?
No, not in the quarter mile. No. I'm anticipating this car will probably run mid 10-second range, around 130 miles an hour.
That's still quick in a standing quarter mile, man. That's moving.
Yep. My old car used to run 10.0s, and this one I'm kind of trying to get the platform back to that running speed with this one.
Now, Ryan, you may not be aware of this, but when we went down to Tampa earlier this year, Lippert and Thor were showing these new anti-lock brakes at a test track.
Yeah.
Zagami was upset
Lippert
that
and
they didn't
Keystone.
allow him to drive the truck.
Lippert
Okay.
and Keystone.
Right here in front of everyone, why don't you make the offer to Zagami to let him drive your dragster?
That
one
is
time?
that offer is open anytime you want it.
There you go, Zagami.
You're crazy, Ryan. Hey, before we close, Randy, tell us what's new at Pete's RV.
Oh, what's new at Pete's RV? We're getting ready for spring. The sun is starting to shine. It's warming up a little. We know the campgrounds are going to be opening soon, so we're taking care of that and trying to get everything up and ready for that to get you guys out there camping. So we're really excited about the 2024 camping season, and we are working crazy hard to be prepared for it. So,
Is there snow on the ground at the mothership?
I haven't been to Vermont in quite some time, so I believe there is, but I can't tell you definitively. I'd have to look at my camera at my house.
Bernie says you're you're in a ZZ Top interview. Bernie, I think Randy's better than ZZ Top. I think ZZ Top is checking him out.
I'm a stunt double.
Randy, how about any new product lines that you brought on? Anything?
Probably the newest, most exciting one for us is another Fenix. Brinkley. Brinkley is a new fifth wheel that's out on the market that kind of has come from the creators of the Cougar product originally, and then into Grand Design. And now they ventured off and started to bring the Brinkley product, and it's an amazing machine, and we're really excited to have it. And the more I learn about it, the cooler I think it is. So come on and check out the Brinkley.
I have a lot of customers asking about Brinkley.
I'm sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I have a lot of customers asking about the quality of Brinkley's and how they are and stuff. And I do have to say, after looking at them at the show, and I've actually worked on a couple in the last couple months, they are a very high quality unit.
We have an interview with the founders of Brinkley. Have we played it yet?
Yeah. No, we haven't. I'll tell you, we did out at Tampa, we did a video. We were going to do a video with Ron and Bill Fennick, the founders who did, the Montanas and the other stuff, the Grand Design. And it was going to be like we were doing a bunch of 2 or 3 minute videos with a bunch of people around the show. And we sat down in Brinkley and we started talking. And
hoping to get 3 minutes.
Yeah, hoping to get 3. At 20 minutes, I said, "Hey, guy, we got to cut it off." We laughed. We had an audience behind us. This was in the middle of the Tampa show. People all around us talking about it. They were laughing. They were swearing. It is the greatest video. We just haven't figured out where we can play it without bleeping it out. And
well, he only said hell a couple times.
But I'm telling you, the fit and finish of that unit, because people say, well, it's just another RV, it's just another fifth wheel, but yeah, check out the Brinkleys. They really have brought something unique to the marketplace. And the thing I like about it is these guys don't have to work. I mean, they sold 2 companies, and Bill Fennick sold they sold Grand Design to Winnebago, and then Bill went into pontoon boats and he built Barletta.
Wait for the non-compete to run out, and then they hopped on the
the Barlettas are a luxury pontoon boat, well over $100,000, and he turns around and sells that to Winnebago. So that they're in it for the passion and the love of what they do.
Well, $500 million each, $550 million and $500. There's $1 billion.
They are doing it for the money. So
there's $1 billion.
Winning. It's always about winning for all of us, right? Everybody likes to win. I said the other thing to keep an eye out for, Jayco, as always, they've got a lot of awesome stuff in 2024. They've redesigned their interiors. The exteriors look great. So some new stuff there. And Cougar's got this blackout edition that's really cool.
Yep,
talk about Dale
edition,
I heard he just bought one.
I saw that.
So Cougar's got some cool stuff out there too. So lots of new stuff for 24.
Yeah, Dale Earnhardt got a lot of press this week. He bought that I think he bought the gray one.
The Midnight, I believe it's called something.
Midnight edition.
I want you to pop up here and keep me honest on this. It's a really sharp looking machine, though.
It is. It is.
And it's 8 o'clock, Sagami.
It is.
It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it is. Oh.
So play our closing video, and as usual, thank you so much, audience. We do not for a minute take your Wednesday night presents for granted. It's a present to us that you spend your time with us for the last 8.5 years. We appreciate it a great deal. And special thanks to Seacoast RV. Special thanks to Ryan. Special thanks to Randy. And special thanks to our audience.
Chris from the remote broadcast. You guys,
and Chris as well.
Always a great show when we have you on. Thank you very much. And
cool.
John, are we going to do that? Are we going to do that recap of your trip next week?
Yeah, we'll do that next week or the week after.
Probably plan a week ahead, but we might do a recap of John's.
We usually plan about 5 minutes. About 5 minutes to 7, we figure out what we're going to talk about for the night. Yeah, but you know what? With great guests like this, they carry the program. Yeah. And then what we don't do, our audience carries it. So you guys are the best. We appreciate it. And Ryan, we'll get you the shirt one of these days.
All right.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much.
See you down the road. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.